it wasn't quite close enough as we go through this left-hander and head down into Sector 3.
DAQUIGAN as well, having a little look behind. He was unable to pull that one off on the AC Racing team rider, but it does look like he's doing it this time around. Down the inside he goes, and Tamburini pushed back yet another position.
Yeah, DAQUIGAN then in P4 for the time being. A very, very good start for him as well, as we mentioned there. But Alvaro Lucas, who is still leading as we go through this complicated sector here. The final sector, turns 9, 10 and 11. And into turn 12 now goes Lucas.
Into the final sector we go, the Parabolica Ayrton Senna in a few moments time over at turn 13. There's multiple lines through here, and it's just about wind up the power, carrying the corner speed and tucking in behind to try and get a move done. The two AC Racing team riders going head to head. It looks like that's yet another position loss for the number 18, but Lucas leading on lap 1.
Yeah, it looked like Borelli a bit further back as well was trying to make a move there. It's actually Marolanda who's got ahead and moved into P5, but that's the first time we've seen these riders coming out of turn number 13, but they're so fast, they're already moving into Sector 2 here at the front.
Already into Sector 2, a very, very quick turn 2, and then sets up a move for turn 3. Will we see it done this time around for Pratelli? He looks up the inside, and well, he thinks better of it, because that was getting very tight.
Yeah, DAQUIGAN just managed to hold on there, but the pressure is on.
Yeah, the pressure's on at the front. Yellow flag's out over at turn 3. Hopefully everyone is okay there, but nonetheless, Savino, he's keeping tabs on Lucas here. Alvaro Lucas, he's not stretching the gap.
No, he's not at all. Savino doing exactly what he needs to do. He might well be just thinking about this in terms of raycraft, in terms of just hanging behind. I say that, it looked like he might have been trying to make a move there as we go through turn number 6.
Yeah, and that is what the yellow flag was out for. So Evan Boxberger has crashed out. So a big shame there for the 36. Of course, he'll still have one more opportunity later on today. Irfan as well at the back of this group. He's having a nice old look at the AC Racing team riders. But Pratelli, what a good start it's been for him. He's just sitting behind DAQUIGAN as a few more moves gets made behind. And that finally looks like the 27 trying to make up some ground. So Mario Landa getting his elbows out.
Absolutely, it's exactly what you said these riders would need to do as they got to grips with this race. Get the elbows out, be aggressive where necessary, keeping it clean of course, but this is proving to be a really, really fantastic opening race in the MOTO4 European Cup. It is still Alvaro Lucas who leads from Savino, but Savino right behind as we head down the start-finish straight.
Heading down the start-finish straight, side by side, nearly 3 wide across the timing beam now. Irfan gets the both of them, and will Savino trying to get a move done. He's going to be on the wrong side of the circuit now, and well, that gap has came down 44 thousandths of a second across the line between our leaders.
Absolutely incredible. This is so close. Savino with the fastest lap, 1:46.240, and he's getting closer and closer here as we go through the hairpin turns and the first left-hander of the circuit, turn number 4.
Yeah, it's a big left-hander is turn 4. I mean, it's the first time you're on the left-hand side of the tyre since turn 12. And of course, you've got a couple of straights, a couple of corners since then. So sometimes it can be a little bit cold, but luckily, nice and hot temperatures here today.
Yeah, the track temperature's going to be rising as well over the course of proceedings. Savino there just behind Alvaro Lucas. We've seen him as we approach turn 6 several times, looking as if he might give it a go and just thinking better of it. He's happy for the time being to just hang behind, maybe a bike length behind Alvaro Lucas.
Borelli as well, picking up yet another position. He's trying to work his way through that order, but the issue is, the more these guys battle behind in the final spot for the podium in third, the more these top two are going to get away.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really playing into their hands at the moment as this battle for what would be provisionally the final third spot on the podium. But Alvaro Lucas and Eduardo Savino really setting the pace for the time being.
Yeah, they're setting the pace at the front of the field. Fastest lap last time around went the way of Savino, a 1:46.240. Of course, we'll wait and see what's going to happen this time around, because it looks like Savino, he's going to be setting up a move on the run to turn 1. In fact, he could already get it done before we arrive there, but as it stands, Alvaro Lucas going defensive and putting Savino on the wrong side of the circuit is yet again another fastest lap.
And DAQUIGAN moves onto the podium provisionally ahead of Pratelli as well. Savino looked like he was briefly ahead, but just not able to make it stick there. But we saw just how important that turn 13, the Ayrton Senna Parabolica, really is, and how crucial it could prove to be on what's left of this race.
championship standings were on the right hand of your screen there. Of course, it's still early stages in 2026, but points make prizes at the end of the day. Savino having a little look there, but it looks like he's going to back out of it, and he has indeed so, sitting line in stern in P2.
So difficult for the graphics team as well to put those graphics up because the championship standing was changing as we saw it emerge. Briefly, Savino would have been the leader, but Lucas just took the position right back.
Yeah, Alvaro Lucas remaining in P1. Irfan now becoming the fastest rider out on circuit. Of course, he's sitting down in P6 at the back of this field. He's got the likes of Pertelli, Borelli and DAQUIGAN to get through if he wants any hope of catching these top two riders.
Yeah, he's got a real job on his hands because these front two riders are doing so well. And the pack behind really need to just sort it out and try and catch up and stop battling between themselves. They know that if they give the two riders up front a bit of breathing space, they're going to take full advantage as well because they're pulling ahead.
Quite often we see riders tapping the back of their seat, telling riders just to follow them, but let's be honest, that never works. I've not once seen it work, but yet God loves a trier, and they're going to definitely try it, as Savino is going to try a move on the run to turn 1. He gets the drive out to turn 13, and for the first time in this race, he takes the race lead. Can Alvaro Lucas respond at turn 1? We await to find out. Heavy on the anchors now, and the 31 does lead.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff on that start-finish straight from Eduardo Savino. We saw how important turn 13 would be over the previous couple of laps, and now he has made it count. He's taken the lead and is leading Alvaro Lucas, but Lucas is not going to be giving that up lightly whatsoever. Savino's going to need to try and pull away, but it's going to be so tough with the rider of Alvaro Lucas' caliber just behind him.
Yeah, it's going to get tight in this one. Around 2.5 tenths over the line last time around. Absolutely nothing in this form of race. And I mean, look at Alvaro Lucas through here. He's going to tuck into the slipstream and gain back any margin that he lost last time around. Lucas is going to be on the attack here, or he does have the option to sit behind and try to learn where he's going to be able to make a move late in the race.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see his approach to this. Needs to be calm, and he knows that there's still lots of laps for us to enjoy here. He can just hang back, as you say there, and try and figure out where is going to be the right place to make the move. Maybe he's going to try and make the move that Savino made on him at turn 13.
Yeah, and it's these types of races when you're locked in a championship battle, even though it's super early in the season, where you do not want it to be throwing it down the road. These are the points which can make or break a championship campaign at the end of the season. But Eduardo Savino, I mean, what an incredible ride it's been so far. You can tell after missing out by 0.006 of a second in Barcelona, he is hungry.
Yeah, he's going to be absolutely famished, I think it's fair to say, especially knowing that it's Lucas who denied him that win by such a small margin. It still said Savino, who is leading now as we go approach turn 1. Is Alvaro Lucas close enough to make a move? He's not even going to bother trying. And currently in P3, it is DAQUIGAN. We just saw that Almeida has had a crash there a bit further back.
Yeah, so disappointing for him. I mean,
yeah,
we were
absolutely.
speaking about super experienced rider, and we see a replay of the crash over at turns 9 and turns 10, and just tagging the back of the bike in front, and down he goes over the top of the motorcycle, luckily straight up on his feet.
Yeah, he'll be pleased to have a second opportunity in race 2 later today, but not the end that the Portuguese rider would have wanted in his home race.
Yeah, in his home race and looking for solid points. Of course, still race 2 to come later on today, but all the on-watching crowd's eyes will be on this battle as Savino runs slightly wide and Alvaro Lucas down the inside reclaims P1, but of course now he's going to be on the outside forward the next corner. Luckily, move already made. The 46 leads yet again.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal from Alvaro Lucas there. He was biding his time and he pounced the moment the mistake was made by Savino ahead of him, and Alvaro Lucas reclaims the lead and reclaims the lead of the championship.
Yeah, it's an important move to say the very least. Already building it towards the final sector, such a technical final sector, so demanding on these front tyres. I mean, you're asking absolutely everything from the Pirelli compounds as we head through turn 13 yet again. And Savino, well, is going to try and tuck into the slipstream.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it worked for him before. This time around, we'll see whether he's going to try something again. not quite close enough, but it's slightly different lines there. And Savino does pull ahead there, tucking into the slipstream, and is now leading this race once again.
Yeah, you could see the speed difference there with the slipstream as Bertelli now gets ahead of Mario Landa. So Bertelli up into P5, of course, still unable to reclaim his podium position spots. But DAQUIGAN, I mean, keep an eye on him. He's sitting P3, and it looks like he's managed to stretch a slight couple of bike lengths between himself and Borelli, and now is chasing these front two now that the battle has begun.
Yeah, it's going to be really playing into DAQUIGAN's hand, as well as these other riders who are just behind. They're not out of this, not by a long shot for the time being. DAQUIGAN is leading, just dragging everyone else back into this conflict at the front. And while the two leaders, Savino and Lucas, battle it out, well, it just plays into everyone else's hands behind them.
Yeah, around 0.2 of a second quicker last time around. And, well, if the front two continue to scrap, that's going to come down as this race goes on. 9 laps remaining, of course, this being the battle for fourth. Borelli at the head of this field on the number 7. So doing a good job so far, defending over the likes of Bertelli, Irfan and Mario Landa, who continue to scrap behind. And it looks like Savino getting very close to the green there.
Ooh, a little moment there for Savino, but such a technical part of the circuit here in Sector 3 as we move into the final sector. Savino is still leading now as we go into the Parabolica. Ayrton Senna. This battle for fourth really is looking quite tasty indeed. These riders really trying to catch up with DAQUIGAN, who's just about half a second ahead.
Yeah, such a good scrap for P4, and well, if these guys can settle it out for 1 or 2 laps, we could soon see a 7-rider battle for the lead. But instead, they're going to go free wide on the run to turn 1, and Bertelli's on the inside here, 4 wide nearly between them. 67 does look up the inside, but it looks like Irfan is going to go to the head of that group and head into P4.
Yeah, DAQUIGAN then just sitting comfortably in P3 for the time being. He's got a margin ahead and behind, but he's getting closer as he approaches. These two are really going for it there, and it is on the inside. And turn 3, and Lucas pulls ahead there. He's able to make it stick as well. Savino keeping the pressure on, but Alvaro Lucas now leads.
Solid job yet again, and well, Savino clearly feeling the pressure, and well, now he's going to feel the pressure as well from the number 51. DAQUIGAN is there, and he's ready to pounce. Will he make a move over at turn 6? The answer to that is no. Of course, this being the interior Parabolica, but Alvaro Lucas, a good job so far for himself. And if we see DAQUIGAN and Savino make a couple of moves on each other, this is going to be the opportunity for Alvaro Lucas to sprint into the distance.
Yeah, absolutely. DAQUIGAN's done so much hard work so far, and he's not going to let that be wasted. He's going to try and get past Savino as quickly as possible. It looked like he was close to making a move there earlier, but he wasn't quite close enough. But the pressure is building now on Savino, and DAQUIGAN is really closing in.
Yeah, and let's not forget as well, DAQUIGAN last time around in Barcelona, he had a P14 finish, picked up 2 points from the entire weekend. Now he arrives here at Estoril, and he's on the podium places, and it looks like he could be in the position to fight for the race win.
Yeah, absolutely. The Honda Asia Dream Racing team are doing absolutely fantastic work there, as we are now on the start-finish straight once again, and Savino does appear to take back the lead. Is he going to be able to keep it as we go into first corner here in Estoril?
Taking his normal line on the run to turn 1, he does,
look at that.
and there
it is, DAQUIGAN hits the front. What a move there from DAQUIGAN.
2 for the price of 1. DAQUIGAN, job done for himself at the head of Savino and Alvaro Lucas. Lucas, in the space of 1 corner, has been pushed all the way back from first to P3, and now the question is, are we going to see 4, 5, 5th and 6th catching up as well? Here's a replay of the move. The 51 on the inside, the bike making some shapes underneath him, but able to overtake both Lucas and Savino. Job done for himself, and DAQUIGAN, our race leader.
And deservedly so. He was really trying to catch up with the early leaders here, the early pace setters, Savino and Lucas, and he did so well to get back into the battle with them, and now he's going to be facing an entirely different kind of battle. He's gone quite wide there. Is any rider going to be able to take advantage of that? He's still leading. Yeah, DAQUIGAN just managed to survive there as the pressure builds with Savino close behind.
This group has truly bunched up now. I mean, you can visibly see it. DAQUIGAN, what pace can he do at the front of the field? Last time around, he did a 1:46.1. That was 6/10 quicker than the likes of Savino and Alvaro Lucas, as we see Bertelli continuing to have a good scrap as well for the final couple of spots inside the top 5. But what's the pace going to be as we build towards the final corner and towards the start-finish line yet again?
I'm not sure if it's the excitement of this opening race or the heat in the commentary box, but I am sweating with enjoyment here. This is absolutely fantastic racing. DAQUIGAN really impressive as we are once again on the start-finish straight. This is where he managed to make the move to hit the front. He's going to have to make sure that no one manages to make the same move on him now.
Now Irfan up the inside, he goes for himself into second position. So number 4 making moves himself. Alvaro Lucas remaining in third, and now it's Savino in P4. But Savino going to be looking for a move over at turn 2, unable to make it work this time around. Is it going to be Lucas pouncing over at turn 3? The answer to that is a big resounding yes. The 46 down the inside.
Absolutely, Lucas wasn't going to need inviting twice at all, was he there? But this is an absolutely fantastic provisional podium. We've got the Philippines, we've got Malaysia, and we've got Spain, all battling it out here in the MOTO4 European Cup. What a fantastic competition this is.
This has been one of these races which has brewed from start to finish, and I think on this last lap it's going to get very spicy indeed. Savino looking for a little opportunity there, but there was no room in the end. Wide yet again for DAQUIGAN. I'm almost starting to wonder if he's just trying to carry more corner speed, maybe even overriding the bike ever so slightly now that he's in P1.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be facing real pressure from Lucas, who we know is not going to be giving up anytime soon. If we've seen him come from P28, he can come from P2 to win a race. But the pressure is on as we enter into the final sector here in Estoril.
A terrible couple of corners for Savino. He's all the way at the back of this pack now, sitting behind Mario Landa, so down to P7 for Savino. He's got some work to do now, and it's going to be a whole type of pressure. He needs to stay calm, he needs to stay focused, and reset his mind to get ahead of this group while he sees the likes of Alvaro Lucas going side by side in a few moments' time with DAQUIGAN for the race lead as we head towards turn 1 to make it 5 laps to go.
Yeah, 5 laps to go, and it looks like Alvaro Lucas has taken full advantage of that slipstream and might well have moved into the front. But look at that, look at Irfan there on the interior, but it is Alvaro Lucas who manages to take back the lead as we go into turn 1.
Yeah, Irfan, he's so strong at turn 1 for multiple laps now. DAQUIGAN, he's pushed back down to P4, and Bertelli, well, he should have been starting third. Now he's sitting P3. He did look up the inside for P2, but thought better of it. So the Italian sits third, but it's Alvaro Lucas continuing to lead.
Yeah, Alvaro Lucas from Irfan, and Bertelli now in P3. He's done well to battle through the pack that was following the leading 2 for much of this race. Do have a retirement there. Oliver Cantos of ETG Racing just pulling into the pits there. Shame to see his race come to an end with just 5 laps to go.
Yeah, a real shame for him. Of course, he has one more opportunity later on this afternoon. As we see Savino, a few places already made up on this circulation. Meanwhile, Bertelli's under pressure from DAQUIGAN. And well, Alvaro Lucas, you have to say, he's managed to stretch 1 or 2 bike lengths on this lap so far.
Yeah, he has, but there's still plenty of racing here in Estoril in this opening race in the MOTO4 European Cup as we go into the final sector here. Bertelli now in P2.
An incredible move for Bertelli. DAQUIGAN having the moment on the rear, and then is that going to give Savino a chance? The answer to that is yes. He looks to get the undercut as we head towards turn 13. Side by side, leaning on each other, and now the 27 trying to get involved. So Mario Landa able to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, Savino trying to make a move there, just not really being able to pull it off. And it is still Alvaro Lucas who leads as we go down the start-finish straight towards turn number 1. Once again, we've seen it prove so vital over the course of this race so far. This time around, well, it's still Lucas who is leading. Bertelli in P2, but it looks like he's just able to keep that on the inside of Irfan as well.
Yeah, having the inside line. Does he run it wide ever so slightly? Yes, he does. Is that going to give Irfan a chance over at turn 2? No, it does not. 4 laps remaining in this one. A few more moves getting made on the edge of the top 10, but no. Irfan thinking better of it.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to go for it there, but just not quite close enough. Irfan really looking to move up to P2 there. He's desperate to get it. Jaws into the battle, and now he has taken advantage of the fact that Bertelli went wide, and Irfan moves up to P2. Lucas is now 7.5 tenths of a second ahead of this battling group for P2.
Yeah, 6/10 quicker last time around for Lucas. Pratelli looking to respond over at turn 6, and he does indeed. Is DAQUIGAN going to follow through as well? No, he does not. Mario Landa getting close to DAQUIGAN's back wheel. All of them staying on 2 wheels so far, but a great move there from Pratelli.
Alvaro Lucas, his gap is now almost a second. He's taking full advantage of the fact that these riders behind are battling for the 2 remaining podium positions. This is exactly what Alvaro Lucas would have wanted. Absolutely perfect situation for him. Now he can really try and pull ahead with just over 4 laps to go.
Irfan's down. Irfan's down, taking out Pratelli with him. He tried to dive down the inside over at turn 9, lost the front and made contact with the number 67. That's going to help Alvaro Lucas yet again.
Absolutely. Well, as long as everyone's okay there, Camille Irfan there, the confirmation there, but that just proving how difficult and technical a track this is. Such a difficult point of the Estoril circuit, and now the gap for Alvaro Lucas is just growing and growing.
Yeah, it looks like he lost the front of us. Obviously, we'll see a replay hopefully soon if everyone's okay, but it looks like he lost the front quite upright, so maybe squeezing too much of the front brake, asking too much from the tyre, as Savino trying to make a move yet again. This has reduced this second group massively. I mean, Connor, 4 riders now in this second group battling for the podium positions, as it looks like Lucas having the moment himself.
Absolutely. Well, it just goes to show that you need to make sure that you're there at the front battling. You don't need to be leading, you don't need to be in a podium position. You need to take advantage of any situation that you can, and that has worked out well for Mario Landa and DAQUIGAN now. Savino now in P4.
Doing a good job so far, obviously, Savino. This is going to be a chance to pick up another P2 as we have a look at the moment from Alvaro Lucas. As we said, just on the exit of turn 2, before turn 3, luckily composing himself before the braking zone. Here's a replay of the incident, though, and you see Irfan just losing the front, asking too much from it. And, well, Pratelli, he was in the way, and sadly, the bystanders of the situation. Now, though, continuing on, 3 laps remaining. We see DAQUIGAN continuing to lead this group. Savino doing a good job as well, but he's been overtaken by Mario Landa. I mean, we've not spoken about Mario Landa so much, but he's done a good job so far, being nice and composed in this group.
Composed, mature, taking the opportunities as they come, and now that's paying dividends for him. He's into a podium position, and that could be huge for the Colombian rider.
Yeah, it could be a great result for him. Some heavy points anyway for the start of Sunday. Now we make it towards the start-finish line yet again. We get 2 laps to go. We're building towards a blockbuster finish, certainly for the battle for the final spots on the podium. And it looks like Borelli at the back of this group losing ground ever so slightly, but Savino picking up yet another position, pushing Mario Landa back down outside of the podium places.
Yeah, Savino, once again, we've said how important it was going to be throughout the race. Getting that slipstream on that start-finish straight, and Savino's just delivered a masterclass there to move into the final podium position. Now he's behind DAQUIGAN. Can he do better here as we go into the hairpin turn number 3 and approach the first left-hander of the track?
Doing a good job so far. Turn 4 now, Savino up the inside, he does look, but DAQUIGAN just closing the door, shut in his face. On the power we go yet again, slipstream proven to be crucial. Who's going to brake deepest as we build towards turn 6?
DAQUIGAN still leading, but then again, in a slipstream there, can he get ahead of Savino? No, it is Savino who now moves into P2. Absolutely fantastic stuff from Savino as we go into sector 3.
A great move for himself there over at turn 6. Now building it towards turn 7, turns 8, 2 double right-handers in quite quick succession actually. And then obviously turns 9, turns 10. DAQUIGAN having the moment himself there on the rear. Mario Landa, well, he's going to be tasting blood as he looks up the inside over at turn 9. Thinks better of it though, obviously. They've seen what's happened with likes of Irfan and Pratelli, and maybe a little bit apprehensive to make a move there.
You can understand the caution after seeing an incident like that as we go through the parabolic at Ayrton Senna and approach the start-finish straight. Penultimate time now.
On the power we go yet again. Savino, a slightly wider line on the exit of turn 13. Is that going to help DAQUIGAN as we look towards the start-finish line yet again? 1 lap remaining, the final circulation in the MOTO4 European Cup. DAQUIGAN on the outside here. He's going to be doing well to get that second place, and he does think better of it and slots back into 3rd.
Yeah, he had a good think about it, but just didn't feel like it was the right time. We still got plenty of opportunities on this last lap in the opening race in the MOTO4 European Cup here in Estoril. It's delivered from start to finish so far, and this last lap is going to be full of excitement as, again, DAQUIGAN looking to make a move there, not quite close enough to Savino, but this battle for P2 is proving to be sensational.
Yeah, this is going to go all the way to the checkered flag at the end of the race. Savino leading this group down the back straight now. DAQUIGAN in the slipstream. What can the 51 do? He'll look down the inside in a few moments' time. No, he will not, because he's too far back. Mario Landa as well and Borelli there to pick up any pieces if anything goes wrong in front of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, all playing into the hands of Alvaro Lucas, who's now 1.821 seconds ahead. He looks sure to come away from this with the win, and by a much bigger margin than last time around. But this battle for P2 is looking intense.
It's going to go down to the final sector. Into turn 9 we go. Mario Landa down the inside, overtaken. DAQUIGAN, can he get the undercut though on the exit? The 51 back on the power and building it up with just a couple of corners remaining.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing left here. We're going into turn number 13, the final corner. Who's going to get the drive as we approach the start-finish straight? Absolutely vital here to get the slipstream. The battle for P2 could go anywhere, but it is Alvaro Lucas who's sure to get the win. But here, positioned for P3, it's so close there. It is Alvaro Lucas who gets the win, followed by Savino, and DAQUIGAN completes our podium in the opening race here in Estoril. Well, what about that? You can see what it means to the CF Moto Aspar team. Absolutely fantastic racing to get things underway here in Portugal. What about that? Absolutely incredible stuff. Those riders enjoyed it, and I think everyone watching at home did as well, Lewis.
Yeah, an incredible race from start to finish. Alvaro Lucas would have enjoyed that battle at the start at the very least, but I'm sure he'll be grateful that he had a margin, because in those last couple laps, things were getting pretty dicey in the battle for second position.
Absolutely, but it shows a real variety to his racecraft, to his ability on the bike. The fact that last time out in Barcelona, he had to fight the way through the pack from P28. This time around, he was perfectly capable of leading from the front as well. He can ride by himself, he can ride as part of a group. Alvaro Lucas, where is the ceiling for him?
Yeah, it looks like the sky is the limit at the moment for the number 46. I mean, a pretty famous number in motorcycle race, if we do say so. But Alvaro Lucas, what an incredible ride. Of course, championship leader. Savino, another second place for himself. This is going to add even more hunger for race 2 later on, you have to say.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic to see just how much the riders are enjoying their time out on track here in Portugal. ALFONSI DAQUIGAN as well. 5th place in the championship now. Absolutely sensational stuff from the Filipino rider. What a performance. A podium for him, and what he's going to absolutely relish. You can just see, there's the riders. There we go, the race-winning overtake from Alvaro Lucas. Coming off the start-finish straight and into turn 1, and there's the crash that ended Pratelli's race. Erdogan just losing the front at turn 9. And here we can see the end of the race. What a phenomenal race it was. Very friendly finish to proceedings, but we can see now Alvaro Lucas going to Parc Fermé. To a well-deserved applause from the Aspar team there. Another P1, and a P1 delivered in style. He had to fight this time, especially at the beginning of the race. But he finished it fairly comfortably, you have to say. Savino moves into the position for P2 and DAQUIGAN for P3. So first podium for DAQUIGAN. It's going to be such a confidence boost for him as we get this season well and truly underway in the MOTO4 European Cup. Alvaro Lucas celebrating there. A worthy winner. 50 points under his belt now. 2 P1 finishes. We've got another race to come, of course. here in Portugal. Is he going to be able to come away? 75 points from the opening 3 races. Well, given his track record so far, one rider who's going to be doing everything he can to make sure that doesn't happen is Eduardo Savino. 2 P2 finishes, 2 podiums, 2 spectacular rides. Phenomenal work from the Italian. Here we do have ALFONSI DAQUIGAN from P7 on the grid up to P3, a podium finish. There he is, just trying to give the camera a little kiss there. Quite difficult with the helmet on, you have to say, but phenomenal stuff from DAQUIGAN. Here we can see just how close that was. He just pulled up on the inside, got past Marulanda there to take P3 by such a small margin. Back to Parc Fermé as these riders relish what was an absolutely incredible race and the fruits of having finished on the podium. We'll be hearing very shortly from Álvaro Lucas, our race winner in race 1 here in Portugal. Round 2 of the Moto Junior FIM World Championship. We see Eduardo Savino. Just going up the stairs there, towards the podium. Álvaro Lucas with another sensational ride. We'll be hearing from him very shortly. Lewis is down in Parc Fermé.
Álvaro Lucas, what a ride it was from yourself. I mean, having a good battle with Savino at the start of the race and then stretching the gap for the race win. How does that feel?
I'm very excited, no word, because it's an amazing race. Thank you for my team because it's a very good job this weekend. And he dedicated this race to my manager, my sponsor, my team, and my friends, Joel Esteban, Xavi, Jose, Rafa. He's amazing persons.
And just for your fans back at home in Spanish as well, please.
Sí, ha sido una increíble carrera, estoy súper emocionado porque estoy súper contento con el equipo porque ha hecho un gran trabajo este finde y he logrado escaparme y le quiero dar las gracias a mi manager, a todos mis sponsors, a mi equipo y se la quiero dedicar a todos mis amigos, a mi equipo y amigos como Joel Esteban, José Manuel, Rafa, Xavi, un montón de amigos.
Well done.
Thank you.
These are the highlights from the opening race in the Moto4 European Cup. In round 2 here in Estoril, Álvaro Lucas was on pole after a phenomenal start to the 2026 season in Barcelona and was looking to maintain that momentum in Portugal. Bratelli would have started on the front row, but a penalty for irresponsible riding and qualifying saw him pushed down to P6. Eduardo Savino and Álvaro Lucas were battling throughout to try and really claim the front spot. It was chopping, it was changing, and a real rivalry between these two becomes very much self-evident. The start-finish straight proved to be absolutely vital throughout. The riders trying to get as much of an advantage from the slipstream as possible. ALFONSI DAQUIGAN also putting in a really inspired ride, hitting the front briefly, but he wasn't allowed to enjoy it for long. We also saw Irfan performing incredibly well. Álvaro Lucas wouldn't give up whatsoever though, and this leading group was chopping and changing throughout. Lucas eventually claiming back the lead and making it as tough as possible for his competitors and finally pulling away. We did see a big incident late on with Irfan taking out Bratelli at turn 9, and that meant that The final spaces on the podium behind Lucas were up for grabs. Savino and DAQUIGAN fought it out. With several other riders involved in that battle, including Marolanda for the final spot on the podium, but it was Álvaro Lucas who took his second win in 2026. Here we have then the podium after the opening race here in Portugal, the MOTO4 European Cup.
O representante da equipa vencedora da CF Moto Aspar Junior Team. E vamos chamar para o terceiro lugar do pódio, terceiro classificado, Alfonso
the
DAQUIGAN.
Aspar team coming out as well, and Alfonso DAQUIGAN. What a moment for him, what a podium.
Savino.
Here is Savino as well.
P2,
P2 congratulating his rival on track. And Álvaro Lucas on the top spot once again, which means we will of course be hearing the Spanish national anthem.
Representante da Federação de Motociclismo de Portugal, Gonçalo Moraes Sarmento, para entregar o troféu a David Redondo.
So Mr. Gonçalo Moraes Sarmento, the Vice President of the FMP, presenting the trophy to the team representative from Aspar.
Também o troféu ao terceiro classificado,
And to
o piloto ALFONSI
DAQUIGAN. Another kiss from him.
E para entregar o troféu ao segundo classificado, temos Jean-Marc Deneux, representante
Jean-Marc Deneux, the Vice President of the FIM Europe, presents the trophy for P2. Savino with his second P2 of the season so far in 2026. And again, Álvaro Lucas with a trophy for first place here in Portugal. He's got one already this year in his trophy cabinet after finishing first in Barcelona, and now we will be hearing the Spanish national anthem.
E agora para a celebração com gasosa, e é por gasosa mesmo porque são todos muito jovens.
The Spanish national anthem there after a well-deserved win for Álvaro Lucas. It wasn't easy for him, he had to fight, especially at the beginning of that race, didn't he, Lewis?
Yeah, he did. He had to fight tooth and nail, and well, he comes out as the victor. Álvaro Lucas takes victory by 1.9 seconds over Eduardo Savino, yet again in second. DAQUIGAN rounding off the podium. Matteo Mario